Hello friends, good evening. Welcome back to Raju Notes channel. This is the last update for year 2020 and we'll take off from the point where we had left the last time. The Chinese spacecraft which was supposed to bring the lunar samples from the moon surface has landed back into China, and with this China becomes the third country to have retrieved the lunar samples. And these they shall be sharing, as per China, they shall be sharing a portion of this lunar samples with other nations and organizations also. But point to note and to remember is that China's Chang 5 probe, this was a probe which had gone and had collected and has come back to the earth. After 55 years, the rail link between India and Bangladesh has resumed. As of now, the freight trains are running, and later on, the passenger trains will also run. And this was carried out as part of the cooperation between the India and Bangladesh, and which was inaugurated by Narendra Modi and Sheikh Hasina jointly, virtually. This railway line link between West Bengal's Haldibari and Bangladesh Chilahati, and which is in the India state of Cooch Behar after a gap of 55. So what does it mean to India? Probably now, if we can get into Bangladesh, there will be some scope of helping Bangladesh to say dissuade them from looking towards China, which is already making inroads into Bangladesh. So it is the first one who reaches to the Bangladesh people, and having a non problematic neighbor is always good for a country. So maybe that is why it is all started once again. We all know that China has helped Pakistan in many ways, but this time, yet again, it has helped Pakistan in returning $1 billion back to Saudi Arabia, which Pakistan owed to Saudi Arabia. Saudi had given about a $3 billion soft loan to Pakistan because that time it was its friend, but Pakistan started flexing its muscles and was trying to create a separate OIC, or a separate Islamic organization under the leadership of Iran, Turkey, and Malaysia. So the Saudi has taken this very strongly, and Saudi consider itself to be the leader in the Muslim world. And as a shocking thing, after the things started when going bad, the the Pakistani army chief was not even received by the Saudi crown prince, but the world and especially Pakistan was shocked when Indian chief of staff went to chief of the army staff, my pardon, to Saudi, and there were some discussions, though it was sold as bilateral, but there are some of rumors going around that India might take over the responsibilities of guarding the holy shrines of the Muslim world, that is the Makkah Masjid or Makkah place. So if this happens, then it is a doomsday for Pakistan as such. The narrative on which Pakistan has been striving from last about 70 years will all be gone. Yet again, Pakistan will still have about $1 billion loan still left, and now it will be interesting to see if China will even again come to his rescue and give the third installment of this 1 billion loan also, which is supposed to be paid next month. Which I seriously have doubts because of the recent developments which are being taking place on the China side also, which we'll cover in a short while. The US has placed sanctions on Turkey for the purchase of Russian S-400 missile system. Point to note here, as Turkey is a part of a NATO, and since it is a Russian equipment, it doesn't fall into that category, and US sees S-400 missile system as the biggest or a potent danger against all the NATO flying capabilities. And also, since it's a Russian equipment, it is first warned Turkey not to go ahead and purchase the system, but Turkey went ahead and purchased the systems. Now it has placed sanctions on Turkey, and let's see if this breaks its little financial backbone or the defense muscle flexing which is it has been doing after Iran. So Iran and Turkey now faces the music with this sanctions. Good for us, good for the country, I must say, our country, I must say. Now, with total political chaos which is happening in Pakistan, their inflation rate going so high as to now the food grains and other normal essential items touching prices touching sky high. For example, the ginger is selling at about 1200 rupees a kg. Maybe one egg is around 30 rupees a kg, 30 rupees per egg. That is the kind of a cost with which Pakistan is going. Pakistan is desperately trying to fool its population by any number of means possible or any kind of means possible. It is trying to push in more. It is playing the victim card. It is playing jihad card. It is pushing in terrorists. Then it is also getting in now that Hindu or the minority card into it and destroying temples in Pakistan and flaring up the religious sentiments over there. Or as recently as this quarter, rather this month, the foreign minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi was claiming that India was planning a surgical strike, and he made it so obvious into the press that he has got some extensive knowledge and hint about India planning to have a strike into that, and just to deviate the attention. But it is good for us that now Pakistan was always trying to kind of policy of 1,000 cuts on India. That policy is now taking a setback. Now India seems to have an upper hand when such kind of feelings are running in Pakistan that it might be attacked anytime, and it is a good feeling for us, I must say. Overall, a good diplomatic win for India. In a latest development, the government of India is planning, in collaboration with IAF, to change 6 Air India passenger planes from the transport to an AVAX system, that is advanced early warning system. And in a picture you can see this. Probably I can't ratify if this is an original image or it is a morphed picture, but this is how it could be, a kind of a radar on top of a Air India passenger plane. And at least this will also take off the Air Indian economical crunch or the crisis situation what it is right now. So overall, a good thinking on this step. Let's see how IAF reacts to this, and if it happens, then why not? It's a good step. Let's see something coming out of it maybe in next year. CDS General Bipin Rawat had recently commented at an event that all India's neighbors are free to act independently in their international affairs. But he discreetly gave out a suggestion quoting Sri Lanka to Nepal, saying that learn from Sri Lanka. It has also signed many agreements with China. Now how it has got into the clutches of China, that is seen by the world. So it has discreetly given a hint to Nepal. Hope Nepal takes it. It has been in a wrong news for a long time, Nepal, because of its internal own commitments and its attitude towards India. In a major development, the US Congress has passed a bill that reaffirms the right of Tibetans to choose the next successor of Dalai Lama. And it has very categorically said that any interference by Chinese official will be met with serious sanctions. And going one step ahead, the US has also planned to establish their consulate in Tibet, so giving it very prominent message to China saying that it is considering Tibet as a different country altogether. A very good development for us. India should just wait and watch, and it should not, as of now, since already superpower is trying to push its way through India. I feel should just wait and take seize the moment when it is right, and not react on this situation. And rightly so, we did not hear any kind of a rebuttal, any kind of a comment coming from the Indian side on this issue. The Chinese President Xi Jinping had moved out General Zhou Zongqi, who was the Western Theater commander during the Galwan clashes, and this was in pipeline from long time, but it did not happen. This was a misadventure, miscalculation by this gentleman, who thought that he could just push his way through all the way like he was doing from years together at the border, and without Indian retaliation or anything. But it has seriously backfired, and this general is now gone, and uh, let's see how this change will make any difference to us. But I really don't know if India has anything to gain or lose by his removal. But yes, it's a message probably China wants to give it to its own armed forces. uh, there is a system called as the HWT, which is a hypersonic wind tunnel. This is a facility which is vacuum driven, enclosed free jet facility. In this, you can test the nozzles of the jet engines, which can simulate up to Mach 12 speeds. So such kind of tests are not possible outside, and you require special facilities to do so, to test speeds of any flying object with a speed of Mach 12. So India becomes the third country to have such a facility. This facility was inaugurated by the Defense Minister Rajnath Singh in DRDL Hyderabad, and wherein this hypersonic wind tunnel testing will take place. So it's a very proud occasion for all of us, being in Indian. Yeah, coming on to an additional tidbit, like I was just mentioning, the next $1 billion loan which which Pakistan is looking towards China to repay to Saudi, will it come through or not? Why I had my doubts in that was, now China is seeking additional guarantees from Pakistan before sanctioning the 6 billion loan for mainland one railway project. If you recollect, China is making that CPEC line, and also along the CPEC line there is one main railway line which is passing through. Now China has its doubts, obviously so, because Pakistan's financial condition is deteriorating day after day, and Pakistan has approached G20 countries for debt relief. And point to note here is, the G20 countries debt relief is only given to the world's poorest nation. So if Pakistan is already considering itself as the world's poorest, one of the world's poorest nation, then good for Pakistan and good for China. Let's see how much this marriage of convenience between these two will take off. So now that it is asking for a loan, that is a guarantee for 6 billion loan to Pakistan, I have my serious doubts on the next 1 billion loan for Saudi and the CPEC itself, because Pakistan is heavily, now the officials down up to the army level are corrupt with that Papa John's thing, what you have been hearing. So I must say it's a good thing for India. It is also creating internal troubles for it. The Niti Aayog CEO Amitabh Kant on Wednesday launched a DigiBox. Point to note here is DigiBox. What is DigiBox? DigiBox is the digital assist management and storage platform, something like a Google Cloud or something you can talk of. It India's very own, maybe you can talk of a cloud and storage system. And the DigiBox offers about 20 GB of cloud storage and 100 GB space per month for 30 rupees. Probably this could be the lowest fee ever charged in India. If you are looking for a cloud space, then I think it's time now to switch from the Google Cloud or somewhere to India's very own DigiBox. 30 rupees per month is hardly any money, and hope this catches on well. This is towards, if this happens, so then we can be rest assured that some of the data which are moving out and we don't have a control on it will stay back in India itself, which is good for its digital progress. Our constant point, which was moving on from many updates which I have been giving, finally there is a tussle which has happened in Nepal. The Oli government had proposed the solution of the parliament, and it happened. And now finally the former prime minister Pushpa Kumar Dahal Prachanda has replaced KP Sharma Oli as a ruling Nepal Communist Party leader. So, with this, Oli is gone, Prachanda comes. Though the Prachanda and Oli both have the communist kind of a backing, they will be in favor of China, but let's see how this development works. And Oli was somehow trying to push through many things, and for which he was facing a lot of criticism internally. And this is not the end, but I must say again, yet another beginning in Nepal's chapter. Let's see where does Prachanda take this country again to. But certainly there is a turmoil going on in this state of Nepal. Yeah, again an update on this. China is backing away from its initial financial promises to Pakistan under CPEC. This is exactly what I was talking of. Now, with kind of corruption raising, the kind of militant attacks which are happening on Chinese engineers, Chinese people, the kind of disruptive process happening in Balochistan, where the CPEC passes through China, now finally I think is coming back to Mother Earth, thinking about its major dream project of CPEC, wherein it tries to make a Silk Route also, and tries to get access to the Bay of Bengal and that area, Arabian Sea, and up towards the Gulf, the US, Iran ports, Saudi and Iraq ports. So that dream of China seems to be crumbling, and hopefully it happens. And this, I am praying that this thing totally goes off. But let's see how does both countries see to each other as to where they can go ahead. Last to last update, we discussed about the regulatory sandbox. If you know what the sandbox is, which I had discussed or explained it in the detail last time, the RBI has now added further 4 more startups, and which includes this fintech startup or Tone Tag and City Cash to this regulatory sandbox. And I am very sure very shortly, maybe my next 4 or 5th update, I will certainly cover a topic wherein I can tell you that India would be achieving success in doing a banking transaction without internet. It would be maybe offline banking transaction wherein nobody needs internet to do a bank transaction, which looks as if distant dream as of now, but yes, it is very much possible happening. Something is happening in that direction. For the first time, the Afghanistan National Directorate of Security, which is also called as NDS, arrested 10 Chinese citizens on charge of espionage and running terror cells in Afghanistan. And also in those 10, at least 2 were in contact with the Haqqani network, which is recognized as a global terrorist outfit. And now Afghanistan has made it very clear onto the international forum and has told China to apologize for this thing, or else these people will be tried as per Afghanistan law. Now here the Chinese are put in a catch-22 situation. Till date they have been passively doing everything on, as far as the terrorist modules are concerned, pushing in terrorists in form of something to via China to India, via Pakistan to India, and into something to Afghanistan. But now that this thing is caught, now China is in a catch 22 situation. It cannot accept them as its people, but at the same time it cannot even denounce these people that no, they are not Chinese. So it is in catch 22. Let's see where does it progress. My guess, my small head guess is that this matter will be hushed up, and as of now it is there in news, but maybe it will be hushed up, wherein China will come in some backdoor meetings with Afghanistan, pay them lots and lots of money to kill this matter, because it is ultimately the Chinese pride, and which will be raked up by all nations including India, US, and any state which is opposing China, that now they are supporting the uh, global terrorist outfit which has been banned by the United Nations. So yet again a down point for China. In a science and technology, a new technology is probably being tested as we talk here. The researchers are probably heating up some kind of a citric acid with hydrogen and some iron, manganese, and potassium catalyst. And by doing so, they are probably trying to convert the carbon dioxide which is in the air to make it as a jet fuel. And if this is so, then your airplanes would be carrying more passengers. It will be having longer flights, more endurance, uh, maybe less carbon emissions, and the sky is limit. Now use this technology for armed forces, then there is no, you can expect, airstrikes or any flying objects to travel miles and miles without any need for refueling. So this is a point which has to be kept in mind, maybe an SMT point. An add-on to what I was just talking about, the Tibet's rights to choose the Dalai Lama's successor, and the US once again uh, made it very clear that it is the China should not interfere in the choosing the successor to Dalai Lama. And though China has vehemently opposed it, says that Tibet is its own country under its own policy of two nations. Oh, I am sorry, what is that policy? I am not getting off right now, but what it says in Hong Kong, it says in Tibet, and it always claims to be Tibet and Arunachal to be part of its own territory. So China is representing or opposing this, but a bill has been signed, so it will be in force. India should take advantage of this. The British Army has received its first 30 units of the Bug. The Bug is a nano drone which weighs just less than 200 grams and has 2 kilometers of range with 40 minutes of battery life. It is capable of flying in strong winds as over as 80 kilometers per hour, and it has been developed by BAE Systems, and it was successfully tested, and it has been inducted into the armed forces of United Kingdom. Now what does it mean? It means that the surveillance in the far flung areas and will now be at the commander who is right on the ground, who need not wait for top higher headquarters to get him the live surveillance feed. Just imagine this kind of a system coming to India, wherein the commander on the border, LAC, LOC, whatever, he has his own surveillance system wherein he just throws in a very small nano bug into the air. It gives him the real time info, and then therein he can pinpoint any kind of enemy activity and take action as per that. So a point to note here. Uh, as just discussed, as things are going a little political turmoil in Nepal, China sends its delegation to take stock of what is happening in Nepal, and they are also now trying to woo Nepal into going by their side. Obviously, Prachanda is also a pro Chinese Communist Party leader, so he is most likely to tag along with China, but India has to wait and watch. and it has given I think the CDS has given a right message in a very subtle way earlier. 7 Pakistani soldiers were killed in a checkpost on Baluchistan. Not a major news as far as normal news is concerned, because we have been losing, India and Pakistan have been losing soldiers on a very regular basis. Sad, but unfortunately, really sad that even single life lost is bad. But why this is important to us is that the frontier corps soldiers of Pakistan in Harnai region in Baluchistan were killed by the terrorist as claimed by Pakistan, but this is the internal dissent which is growing in Baluchistan. Baluchistan is vehemently fighting it against a Pakistan army. Pakistani army is carrying a lot of atrocities there, and the balkanization of Pakistan, if at all it happens, it would be from this place, Baluchistan. So this is a place which needs to be uh, in your back of your mind, in case that once it was declared that Pakistan can be divided easily into 4 parts, balkanized into 4 parts, then the Baluchistan probably will be the one of the best. India supports Baluchistan, maybe not, or may not be overtly, but yes, covertly, certainly, I think so. Let's see how it progresses. To maintain its good relations, Bhutan has always been a steady, fast partner with India, with its uh, good, warm relations with India. India is now training 4 of Bhutanese space engineers for its satellite launch. India is helping Bhutan to launch its very own satellite this year. So let's see if all goes well. These 4 engineers will be part of the satellite launch for Bhutan. In last update, we had discussed that India had handed over the submarine INS Sindhuvir to Myanmar. It was gifted to Myanmar naval forces. This is a diesel class electric kilo subclass submarine. This was renamed by Myanmar as UMS Mini Thin Khatau. I hope it's right. And this INS Sindhuvir was in Indian Navy since 1988, and now with this, the Myanmar gets its first submarine in its Navy's arsenal. How is it important? Because this is a check to Chinese growing ambition in South China Sea, and also its probably cutting lines across the Sri Lankan port over the Indian Ocean region. If need be, Myanmar can come to our rescue, but that is a hope, provided Myanmar is not hijacked by China. They India's own developed DRDO developed Akash air defense missile system, which is being inducted, and I think which is already there in the army as of now, has found 9 friendly foreign countries from Southeast Asia and Africa who have shown interest to acquire this missile system. Uh, I am not saying that this is an excellent news or anything, but it is certainly a good step forward. India has always been an importer of weapon system, but with such a beautiful technology, with us such great minds of ISRO, wherein we can launch satellites and rockets, we are always an importer of the missile system. But now with this, if this happens, it is a small step, but yet a very, very prominent step which is happening. And the DRDO, maybe the white elephant tag will go in case they have do some quality work. Now in a very, very straightforward manner, the IAF chief, Air Chief Marshal R.K.S. Bhaduria, said that any serious conflict with India is not good for China, hinting that if you attack or if you try to think of attack also, India will retaliate back in a way that can't be gauged. And he says if China's aspirations are global, then the China should drop this border standoff, as it does not suit their grand plans. So a very, very clear message going out from the IAF chief to China. Uh, Breaking away from its traditional orthodox outlook, Indian Army has called on startups to invest in emerging technologies which could help the Indian Army, and as many as 89 startups pitched in with their indigenous developed proposals for the Indian Army, out of which 13 have been shortlisted. The work is going on these 13. These includes the drone, robotics, the medical applications, and some artificial intelligence thing, autonomous systems, 3D printing, such kind of things are there. We will probably in our next few updates we will cover as to what all systems Indian Army is likely to take from this new startups. Uh, the Just as an current affairs update point, we all know that from long time this farmers agitation has been going on, which has been hijacked by political parties for own their gains or whatever it is. I'll request the readers to be aware as to what the farmers bill is, what those three bills are, how was it, what are the pros and cons of it. Now this is the first substantial news, tangible news, which is coming in, wherein after almost a month of protest, now the center has agreed to decriminalize the stubble burning and continue with the existing system of power subsidy for agricultural use. Probably these are the two things which has government has agreed upon, and with this few of the farmers have accepted and have left the agitation. But yes, still as there are still farmers who are trying to go on with this protest. But yes, certainly we find anti-national elements also participating and trying to hijack this farm bill agitation. uh, as we covered earlier also, the Indian Army Chief General Naravne had visited Saudi, and later on 30th, that is yesterday, he visited the Armored Brigade and DMZ Republic of Korea. And we are trying to pitch in look east policy, Army Chief going to Korea and he being received there and in a warm way is very good indications to the Chinese overall plans that it wants to dominate in that Southeast Asian region. uh, at the end, I will only say that with this we wrap up the 2020th edition of Current Affairs and some SMT update. I only pray to God that this year, maybe the 2021, brings you more health and anything unlike 2020, wherein you go meet your loved ones, meet your parents, travel around, and may God bless us all. And I wish you a very very happy new year, and honestly do without the any such things as corona, which a new strain is supposed to be coming, but I just wish it goes off. The vaccine helps us all. My sincere wishes to you all. Have a happy time with your family and your loved ones. Thank you so much, and God bless all.